Good evening, guys. I am so sorry for coming late. You guys supposed to spank me today for coming late. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Mm, I think I am still having challenges with my PDF. I'm trying to open it. It's acting up. It doesn't want to come up. I don't really know what we'll do tonight on this PDF of the thing. Let me see if I can share external PDF. Hmm. What is wrong with this? This thing is still active now. I hope it's not my network, sha. Let me try to share the external PDF if it's going to work. It's like the issue is with my network. Oh. Network don't want to open. What is it called? Huh? How do we deal with this? No. Are you guys sure we will not go to? I'm so sorry for this delay. I'm looking for a solution, and I hope we'll get one soon. Okay, it's like I am getting one solution, but we pray that this able to see my screen. Please let me know. I am so sorry for this delay. We'll make sure we extend the class for longer than it's supposed to be. So we'll meet up. Okay, I believe my screen is visible now, guys. Can you see it at your end? Is it showing? Are we good to go? Yes, I'm not using MTN here now. I'm using Glow tonight. I think that is why. All right, it seems we can see it now. So let's get to business. Quite a lot of things in this GST102. You know, we said that the old GS102 is concerned with what we call uh, writing and speaking. Like we started from the beginning, and we have been several things that makes up a good writing skill. Like we started with the idea of a paragraph. You said when you have longer sentences or longer divisions of words, you can, you know, separate them into paragraphs so that your piece of writing will be. So that was how we started with paragraph, and we talked about things that makes up a paragraph. The topic sentence, which is like the main theme of a paragraph, the main idea. I would say that each paragraph is meant to contain topic sentence. I'm just doing a form of revision now before we start what we have today. I want to test your brain so that you know what we have done so far in this particular course. So we said paragraph can be in the beginning, at the middle, in the middle or at the end of a. I'm talking about the topic sentence now. The topic sentence could be at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end of a paragraph, and it is that statement that shows the main purpose, the main reason, the main thing that paragraph is talking about. We have practiced several uh, essays to bring out the topic sentence. That is what we have been doing for the past two classes. We read different essays, bring out the topic sentence, find out where it was located, and so on and so forth. Okay, somebody said I should send the link. Well, I think the link is in the group. It's still the same link I sent to the group. The class captain should help us with that. So we've done all of that, and now we are going to. We even talked about some things that said. If you check the previous class, there was something we talk about. Okay, I think I'm jumping now. We have not gotten there. I think we will just enter that in this class. So the next thing and the topic before us today is what we call coherence. Coherence. I don't know if you have heard about that before, but coherence is just a form of uh, logic in your writing. When there's uniformity in your writing, when your writing is, you know, catching the attention of the reader smoothly. Now, what is coherence? An effective paragraph requires more than a topic sentence and supporting details, like we have heard before. That in the paragraph, you are going to have a topic sentence and then some details that you will use to support the topic sentence. What are those details that you can use to support the topic sentence so that the paragraph will be a full paragraph? We talked about things like examples, like illustrations, you know, and so on and so forth. Like description, you can describe the topic sentence that is supporting details. But is that all we have in the paragraph? The topic sentence and the supporting details. Is that all? No. We have other things like coherence. Now, your paragraph must be coherent. And what does that mean? In a coherent paragraph, the writer takes the reader logically and smoothly from one idea to the next. Imagine if you are trying to relate, let me know his word. You are trying to teach some set of learners how to probably prepare a Nigeria recipe, maybe egusi soup or pounded yam or anything. And you have the thing is in steps. You know, you have the first thing you will do, maybe sourcing for the ingredient, the second thing, setting up your kitchen, and so on and so forth. You know that if you are not coherent in your writing, the whole thing will be mixed up that the reader will be confused. I hope my network is okay because I'm seeing that it's like there is nobody online now. I don't know. I hope my network is okay. Please, those of you that are online, I hope you can hear me. Oh, I'm just speaking to myself. Please, I want to hear from you guys. I hope you guys can hear me. Okay, so let's continue. So imagine you wanting to teach some learners that, and you just start without, there is no pause, there's nothing that shows that you have finished one item, you are now moving to the other one. The learner you are teaching will be confused. So what if you now say, firstly, you go to the market you get this ingredient, you get this ingredient, you get this ingredient. Then when you get to secondly, the next thing you will do is prepare your kitchen. Thirdly, you start washing and sanitizing the ingredient. Then furthermore, you do this and this and this in continuation. Then you don't understand all those as you are using them, you are moving from, they are just like grease, like oil that helps you to move from one of your point to the other. So the coherence is a form of uniformity, that is that your piece of writing is well arranged and properly understood by the reader. That is the idea of coherent. Now, I will read this part again. In a coherent paragraph, the writer takes the reader logically and smoothly from one idea to the next. The reader must clearly recognize that that one sentence logically leads to the next. That is the idea of using firstly, secondly, thirdly, and so on and so forth. You are merely telling the reader that this is the first thing that takes place. After that, this one takes place, and then this one takes place. Now, I'm going to give us an icebreaker there. Let's test ourselves on coherence. In a coherent writing, the writer, takes the reader logically and smoothly from one idea to the next. Now, the next thing we'll be talking about, of course, is we have a self-assessment here. The following sentences go together to form a complete paragraph, but they are in the wrong order. Keeping in mind the idea of coherence, put them in the right order. Now, let me also give you an example. Imagine you wanting to teach some learners how to prepare a Nigerian recipe, like a soup, maybe let's say edikayogon or anything, or I don't know, any popular soup, maybe egusi or so. And then you start from the fourth thing they are supposed to do. You put the fourth thing or you put the last thing at the beginning. Isn't that going to be confusing? How will that person get how to prepare that soup when you scatter the steps? Now, there is an example given to us here to help us practicalize coherence. Now, we are going to do it very well. Now, what is the exercise? We have some sentences here. They actually, if you arrange them properly, they will form a very good paragraph. This is one solid paragraph that have been scattered. They put the first sentence at the middle at the end, so it's scattered. It's not well arranged. It's now left to us to properly arrange it using the idea of coherence that we've just learned. Now, after you have done the exercise, you may check your answer with that given by us at the end of the unit. Now, we have about 5 sentences, but we need to rearrange them to form a paragraph. The first sentence says, when the box is removed, the ant will not continue on its former course, but will start off rapidly in a new direction. The second one says, this can easily be demonstrated by a simple experiment. The third one says, place a light, tight box over an ant carrying food back to its nest and keep it in prison for a few hours. The fourth sentence says, this new route will differ from the old by exactly the angle that the sun has shifted across the sky during the time the ant was imprisoned. And the last one says, many insects rely upon the direction of the sun's rays as a sort of compass. Now, all these 5 sentences can form a solid paragraph. I want you guys to arrange it just in your own answer in the chat box. You just put, maybe it is sentence E that will be first. You don't need to write the full sentence. Just arrange your own the way you want it to be. If it's E that will be first, put E first. Then go by, maybe if B is the second one, then you put E, B, D, A, C, or anyhow you want it. So I'm waiting for you guys. These are sentences meant to form a solid paragraph if well arranged. So how will you arrange it to form a good and correct paragraph? Using the idea of coherence. Okay, Benedicta says E. No, don't put your answer one by one. Just arrange it once and send it. Like Omoyasuno just did. To him, he said E. Now, I will now read out what Omoyasuno said. Let me start with, he said E. Now, many insects rely upon the direction of the sun's rays as a sort of compass. Then he said D. This new route, no, you missed it. You missed it. You missed it. You missed it. That is not correct. Let's hear from other people. Yes, I'm waiting for the rest of you. Send in your contribution. How will you arrange it? You are probably right. Maybe E may be the first one, but D is definitely not the second one. Something is wrong there. So I am waiting patiently for your arrangement of these sentences to form a solid paragraph using the concept of what do we call it? Coherence. Okay, now I have Francisca. Francis Azianka said, EC. Now let me read E. Many insects rely upon the direction of the sun's rays as a sort of compass. Then he says C. Then he said, place a light box, a light tight box over an ant carrying food back to its nest and keep it imprisoned for a few hours. Okay. Then Francis said the next one is B. Okay. This can easily be demonstrated by a simple experiment. Then he said the next one is C. Again, no, a sentence is not repeated twice. Maybe you want to say A. If you now say A, by a simple experiment, yes, the next one will be C. No, you've confused me already. I'm not taking your answer. I need another person. Francisca, you've confused me. Okay. YP beats say ECAB. Let me read that. E says many insects rely upon the direction of the sun's rays as a sort of compass. Then he says C. Place a light tight box over an ant carrying food back to its nest and keep it imprisoned for a few hours. Then he said A. When the box is removed, the ant will not continue on its former course, but will start off rapidly in a new direction. Then he said B. This can... Oh, no, you missed it. You missed it. Y beat, that is not, or YP beat, that is not correct. Peace John said ECABD. Let me try that. Peace John. E says many insects rely upon the direction of the sun's ray as a sort of compass. Then she said C. Place a light tight box over an ant carrying food back to its nest and keep it imprisoned for a few hours. Then she said A. When the box is removed, the ant will not continue on its former course, but will start off rapidly in a new direction. Then she said B. This can easily be demonstrated by a simple experiment. Then she said D. These new routes. I love you are almost there. You are very close. Peace John is very close, but that's still not correct. You've missed 1 point with another. You see that this can easily be demonstrated by a simple experiment. That option B is part of the earliest sentence in the paragraph. One of the earliest. So if you choose option E first, the next thing you are likely going to choose for it to be correct will be option B, which will be many insects rely upon the direction of the sun's rays as a sort of compass. This can easily be demonstrated by a simple experiment. Place a light tight box over an ant carrying food back to its nest and keep it imprisoned for a few hours. When the box is removed, the ant will not continue on its former course, but will start off rapidly in a new direction. This new route will differ from the old by exactly the angle that the sun has shifted across the sky during the time the ant was imprisoned. In other words, the correct order will be E, B, C, A, D. E, B, C, A, D. Thank you, Adeyemi Omolara. Absolutely correct. Benedict Peter, EBC. No, if your answer is not EBC, AD, you are wrong. If your answer is not EBC, AD, you mixed it. So that is it. EBC, AD. That is the correct order. So we have some words to learn from that uh, paragraph. Format, when we say format, that means the previous one, earlier. Then we have rapidly. Rapidly means very quickly. We have light tight. When we say light tight, we say where the light cannot enter. Any box, anything that is airtight is one that air cannot enter. Then when it's light tight, it means light cannot enter. Imprison means to shut up in prison, lock someone up or lock something up. Then rely means to depend on something. I have an icebreaker for you guys. Then the next thing that partakes in the formation of a paragraph after the topic sentence and coherence. Now, I want you guys to remember, please note this. How many things have we talked about that makes up a good paragraph now? We've talked about one, the topic sentence, right? We've talked about two, after the topic sentence, what did we talk about that makes up a paragraph? We talk about coherence. Well, not coherence. Coherence should be number 3. Number 2 is supporting details. The supporting details can be examples, illustration, demonstration. Then we'll talk about number 3, coherence. Number 4 now is transitional devices. While coherence is logically arranging your point so that you can move smoothly from one point to another without confusing your reader. Coherence is moving logically from one point to another in your paragraph without confusing your reader. The next one is transitional devices. This one is something you know, is something you are used to. In fact, most of you use it when you are speaking. Before we go into reading transitional devices, let's test our primary knowledge on it. Can you give me examples of transitional devices you know already that you use on daily basis? Before we even read about it, let's test ourselves. Let's have primary knowledge tested now. What do you know about transitional devices before now? Before now. Yes, I'm waiting for you guys. What do you know about? I know I'm not what do you know. Give me examples of the ones you use on daily basis when you are talking. Examples of transitional devices you use on daily basis when you are talking. It's very good. I test you guys on that before we even start talking about it. Let's see if you guys already know those things. Yes, patiently waiting. Okay, thank you, Francis. Francis says firstly, secondly, thirdly, or furthermore. Sorry, firstly, secondly, furthermore. Thank you. Or that Jeremiah said also, that is correct. Those are transitional devices. You guys are absolutely correct. Now that's making sense. It means you guys have been following, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So let's read about it officially now. Now, when we talk about transitional devices, those are things you already know, and probably, moreover, furthermore, in other words, in continuation, as soon as a result of, all those things. Now, another technique which brings coherence in a paragraph is the use of transitional devices between sentences. These are words or phrases that help a writer move smoothly from one sentence to the next, excuse me, and show the logical relationship between sentences. Excuse me. So that is coherence. words or phrases that helps the writer to move smoothly or logically from one sentence to the next. That is what we call transitional devices. Please bear all these things in mind. There are questions in TMA and even in the exam sometimes. We shall give you an example of what these transitional devices are and how they can be used. The transitional devices in example 4 are printed in bold type. Now let's read a practical example. Here is a paragraph that has been logically arranged using transitional devices and the concept of coherence. So, guys, we are going to bring out all the transitional devices that exist in this paragraph. Now, let's begin to read the paragraph. Man has been able to spread across the earth so widely for 4 main reasons. Firstly, he is a terrestrial animal not restricted to the forest. Secondly, he can cross any natural barriers such as deserts, oceans, and mountains. Moreover, he can live on a very wide variety of food. Most important of all, he has developed culture. He has learned to make clothes and build fires, which allow him to live in climate where he would otherwise perish. To a large extent, he shares some of these advantages with the monkeys. They too can move over unforested land. They too can cross some natural barriers as they have the ability to swim, and they too can digest many kinds of food. Thus, a single species of baboon has spread across Africa from Dakar in the west to Ethiopia in the east, and south all the way to the Cape of Good Hope. Okay. Similarly, monkeys have done at least as well. One species, the resource, the marquis is equally at home in the forest, in open cultivated fields, and inside heavily populated cities. Okay, so this is the paragraph. Can you spot out the transitional devices you are able to see there? How many of them? Yes, I think it's right there before us. How many transitional devices can we see there? Let's bring them out from the paragraph we just finished reading. How many transitional devices are visible there? Yes, most important of all. Otherwise, similarly, firstly, secondly, moreover. Thank you, Oda Jeremiah. You spotted so many of them. Now, the glossary, let's talk about the meaning of some words we found in that paragraph and what they meant in the paragraph. Terrestrial means living on land. Terrestrial animal means living on land. Don't forget, that was the time we talk about the cerebral and the celestial. Now, barrier, something placed in to prevent further movement. Then we have perish, something that die or be destroyed completely. Species, a group of plants or animals that are of the same kind. Babu is a large dog-like monkey found in Africa and South Asia. The macaque are a monkey of African origin, found mainly in Asia, having cheek pouch and a short tail. If you have watched all those monkey uh, movies, those discoveries, you will note you know the type of baboon they are talking about. That's macaque, or what is it called? As you have seen, transitional devices are like signposts in a paragraph. They enable us to follow the writer's lines of thought by showing us showing us how one sentence relates to another. How one sentence relates to another. That is the concept of what we call uh, transitional devices. In the example above, we have words or phrases like firstly, secondly, moreover, most important of all. They all indicate the four main reasons why man has been able to spread so widely across the earth. Most important of all also shows that some reasons are more important than the others, while two indicates that monkeys also share man's characteristics. Similarly, shows the relationship between the macaques and the baboons. Now, the following list includes other words and phrases that function as transitional devices. And please, guys, we are going to spend time on this part because your TMA is mostly full of questions from this place where they will ask you that which of the following shows result? Which of the following shows result? Then they will put accordingly. They will put therefore. They will put however. They will put nevertheless. You should know which one falls under result. Like when you want to express result in your paragraph, which transitional device will you use? You should note them. So it's not just enough for you to know moreover, furthermore, therefore, nevertheless, however, and so on. You must know how or what they function in a paragraph. Now, for those that show result, there is one they did not mention here, but it's also part of the ones that show result, and that is when the one they ask you in TMA. Accordingly, when you have been speaking on something and you use the word accordingly, you are about to give result. When you said accordingly, you are about to give result. You are about to say something that relates to result. So, but what are the examples given here of transitional devices that express or expresses result? We have therefore. If you have been saying something before and you said therefore, you are about to give result. As a result is also, that one is even obvious. It's talking about result. Consequently, it's talking about result. Thus, you want to give result when you say thus. Hence, you are also about to relate the result of a finding or what you have been saying before then. We have the ones we use to give examples. Like for examples, for instance, specifically as an illustration, when you use all those words, what you are trying to do is you are trying to give examples. Now, we have the one for showing comparison. They ask this to a lot in TMA. Similarly or likewise, you use them to show comparison. Then contrast. When you use but, no, before you can say but, you have been saying something before. Now you want to say something else, like an opposite of what you have said. You say but. When you say yet, that's why they said it is wrong for you to say but yet. But yet is tautology. But and yet means the same thing. They represent the same thing. So when you say but yet, when you are speaking, you are making a blunder. It is incorrect to say but yet. Now, or still yet. There is one you people say that is very common. So when you say still yet, that one is very common. When you are speaking, you say still yet. You are saying the same thing. Still is the same thing as yet. So when you say still yet, you are just saying yet or still. I know if you say still in your sentence, even you are saying it's not making sense to you. So that is how you should say it. It's not correct to say still yet. Now, you either say still or you say yet. You choose one of the two if you want to speak. Don't say still yet. Now, example of contrast, but yet, still, however, nevertheless, on the other hand, all these show contrast. Now we have the one for, addition. You have been saying something, but you now want to add something to what you have said before. It seems like maybe you just remember something, or what you have said before, there is still more that you can add to it to make it better. You use moreover. Furthermore, also, when you most of the time when you use also, it's just like when you remember something that you were supposed to add to what you said. So you say also, this is you choose to, besides, in addition. All those are to show addition. The ones that show time, this one is obvious. When you see them in a paragraph, you yourself know that they are talking about time. now, later, meanwhile, since then, after that, before that time, they are all talking about time. Then what of sequence? Now they ask, let me give you an expo, the one that usually come out in TMA almost every semester, because TMA questions don't change. Is the question that those that did last set answer that you still answer this semester. That is how TMA is. It's not like exam. Now, express sequence, they ask question on the one that express sequence. They ask question on comparison, and they ask question on result. Don't worry, tell me you will soon start. You understand what I'm talking about. Now, for sequence, we have first, second, third, then next, finally, and so on and so forth. Now, we have an exercise here. Read example 4 again and answer the following questions. What is the most important reason making man to range so widely across the earth? Now, we can find that answer after that transitional device I said, most important of all. The next thing that is said after that statement, most important of all, is the answer to this question 1. It's as simple as that. Yes, Madam Naomi say when you say first and foremost, we Nigerians, we like to show why over sabi, we like to add like salt. We like that when you say first, you feel like that one is not solid enough. Let me add foremost. First, when I say first and foremost, I look like somebody that know English very well. That is the issue we have in Nigeria. We like to just exaggerate on everything. So, what are the 3 characteristics that the monkey shares with man? The answer is obviously written there. Now, monkeys cross natural barriers like rivers by swimming. What are some of the devices that man uses to cross natural barriers? They are all mentioned in that paragraph. I don't want us to go back to the paragraph. But we have another one, exercise 10. In the following paragraph, the transitional words and phrases are missing. Fill in the gaps by choosing the most appropriate words or phrases from the list given below. The list given to us is despite, also, but, however, yet, in the future. So, where do we put each of them? Let us read and fill it. They ask this kind of question a lot in TMA. Be ready. Your TMA will start on the 17th of August. They ask this type of question. In fact, it fools your TMA in GST102. You see different paragraphs that this kind of thing will be asked. Now, let's see. Let's read it and find out the answers. Of all the 6 possibilities for man's future, the greatest may be its promise of an important increase in the world's food supply. Square mile for square mile, the sea is estimated to be more productive than the land what? We have despite, also, but, however, yet, in the future. So we have than the land at present. So what is most suitable? Which transitional device are we supposed to put there? So I am waiting patiently for you guys. What is supposed to be there? Is it also, is it but, or is it yet, or is it however? Yes, let's wait patiently for you guys. What will you put there? Let me read it again. Probably you understand. Of all the 6 possibilities for man's future, the greatest may be its promise of an important increase in the world food supply, full stop. Now, square mile for square mile, comma, the sea is estimated to be more productive than the land at present. It cannot be in the future at present. No, that is incorrect. It can't be. I'm patiently waiting for your responses on that. Okay, let me go back to the options we have so that you know what you want to choose. We have despite, also, but. Okay, I think I should just copy all those words there for you in the chat box. So when you are reading, you will know which one to put where, because they are not on the same page as the paragraph itself. So those are the words that we have there. So which one of them fits in that? You have to read it very carefully so that you understand. Let's just read only that paragraph. square mile for square mile, comma, the sea is estimated to be more productive than the land dash at present. Okay, somebody said, however, at present, comma, the ocean supply only, which means after land there is a full stop. Square mile for square mile, comma, the sea is estimated to be more productive than the land, full stop. However, at present, comma, the oceans supply only 1 or 2% of man's food. That's all is learning about the sea. What is supposed to be in option 2? What is supposed to be in option 2? Here, it says the oceans supply only 1 or 2% of man's food. Dash. All that he is learning about the sea. Man's relationship to it is still primitive. Despite all that he is learning about the sea, comma, man's relationship to it is still primitive. He is a hunter rather than a harvester. Dash along some coast. Is he is a hunter rather than a harvester dash along some coast. So what is the correct thing to put in option 3? Would you rather go for but instead of also? Okay, let's see if also will work. He is a hunter rather than a harvester. Also, comma, along some coast. Okay, he is a hunter rather than a harvester also. Okay. Along some coast, growers set out beds for oysters and fence out the oysters' enemies to increase the yield. Dash. To increase the yield. Dash. Dash. I'm talking of this now. Increase the yield. Dash. In the Philippines, Indonesia, Japan. What will be in option 4? What is the correct thing for option 4? To increase the yield in the future. Okay, somebody said in the future. Oysters growers set out beds of oysters and fence out the oysters' enemies to increase the yield in the future. Okay, that makes sense. Then in the Philippines, Indonesia, Japan, and China, people already grow fish and prawns in freshwater ponds. Dash. This is just a beginning. Dash again. So we have two things to fill there. People already grow fish and prawns in freshwater ponds. Dash. This is just a beginning. Dash. But I think, but yes, the first one should be prawns in freshwater ponds. But this is just a beginning. What is the next thing? A beginning, then what? Number 6 is what? This is just a beginning dash to meet the great needs of a rapidly expanding world population. Man will have to farm the sea as he has for so long farmed the land. Okay, somebody said we should write people already grow fish and prawns in freshwater ponds, but this is just a beginning also. Is that making sense? I think that is something we have not even used in all of those words that we dropped. You people have not even mentioned yet. We have not used yet. Yes, I am patiently waiting for your responses. You people have missed two things there. There's an error in that, what is it called? I am not enjoying your contribution. Yes, what are you guys saying? I want you to put, no, you are confusing me. Put the one that is supposed to be, just put, now we have question 5 and 6. So when you want to answer, put 5 the answer, put 6 the answer. So I will know the one you are answering. You are just confusing me by saying but, yet, however, yet, in future. That number 5 is correct. So that number 6 will be in the future. You can put but in number 5, then number 6 will be in the future. Something like I have just dropped there for you guys. I can see that my network is fluctuating. Now, we have some glossary here. Productive means something that produces much. Primitive means at the earliest stage of development in those days. Harvester, a person who gathers the crops. Oyster, a type of shellfish. A type of shellfish. Fence out, keep out by building a fence. Prawn is any of various types of small 10-legged sea animals. They have 10 legs. Rapidly expanding means fast increasing. Fast increasing. So we have that, and I think we've done some reasonable justice to coherence and transitional devices tonight. In conclusion, but before in conclusion, I have an icebreaker before we conclude tonight. It's already time anyway. So before we conclude tonight, I want you guys to tell me the meaning of oyster. As we conclude, now in conclusion, in this unit, you have been exposed to the topic sentence or sentences, how they are identified and developed, as well as the position they take within a paragraph, whether at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end. You are expected to keep on practicing how to write topic sentences. They give directions to your writing. Summary. In this unit, we have discussed the elements that go into the organization of a good paragraph. The topic sentence, the development of the topic, connection between the sentences, and the use of transitional or linking devices. You will learn more about how to develop paragraphs in the next unit. And in the next unit, in the next unit, our concern is Unit 2, development of paragraph using illustration and description. The course is just getting sweeter from that point on. The course is just getting sweeter. But I have an assignment. Whether you are online now or you are not online, you have to do this assignment. I want you to write a 10 paragraph essay, 10 paragraphs essay on any topic of your choice. When you can type it and submit as a WhatsApp message if you like. You can save it as PDF and send it to your class captain. Any way you want to do it. Make sure you write 10 paragraphs of paragraphs on any topic of your choice, and make sure each paragraph is professionally written to clearly show coherence, transitional devices, and supporting details. Those are the things we have learned under Unit 1. We've learned the meaning of a paragraph, how to place, the meaning of topic sentence, where and how to place the topic sentence in the paragraph, coherence, transitional devices, and supporting details. Those are the things we learned in Unit 1 of this course. So I want you guys to practice all of those things in paragraph writing. So So you are writing 10 paragraphs on any topic of your choice to clearly show your knowledge of the use of topic sentence, supporting details, coherence, and transitional devices. The class captain should take note. You guys should submit it to Omoyasuno. So Omoyasuno take notes. That is the homework. Write 10 paragraphs. So take it now and go and type it for them in the group. Write a 10 paragraph essay on any topic of your choice to clearly show your knowledge on the use of the topic sentence, supporting details, coherence, and transitional devices. Thank you all for attending tonight. Do have a wonderful night rest. See you guys tomorrow.